Ciao. Let's wait for everybody to arrive. Who we got in? One viewer. We'll wait. Be patient, one viewer. Thank you. Wow. There is no time. Tonight's tea. There you go. 5. Nice one. Easy, guys. Peace and love. 15th of February 2018. Get ready, guys. Get ready. Need some water. Just let a few people join. Say hello. Let me know who's in the house. Give me a thumbs up or speak to me, choob. Been a long time. Shouldn't have left you without a dope beat to step 2. We've got a massive update. Get a drink. Go and get a drink. Go and get a cup of tea. Might be a big one. Might be a big one. If you haven't already, get another browser open. Go and look at splspro.com. If you haven't, yeah, go and have a look at that. I'd like some feedback. I'm going to give some accreditation to the web designer that's helped it look like that. If you've been on there, give me some comments and feedbacks about the new Trust website. Wow, yeah, I've had some amazing help on that. I don't know if the guy's watching, but if you are, thank you to Mr. Greg. Any of you guys need some website domain assistance, I can recommend a very good brother for you. While we're here, what's that? It's an empty glass. What's that? Some lemon. It's as simple as that, guys. Chuck that in there. You know what it's for. A little bit on the pizza. Lucky number 7. Alright, guys. I can't see any comments. Someone give us a comment. Let me see if it's working. I am going to speak soon. I'm just getting my dinner ready. I've just rocked in, so we'll let people, mans, brothers and sisters, get in. Look at that, straight in there. That lemon into there. Water from a bottle. No, it's not distilled. It's Lidl's very own Saskia. Still better than what comes out the tap. Stan, I do need to start drinking my own urine. You're right. I will try it one day when I'm sick and brave. Michael Barnes, hello brother, good evening. Mr. Offensive 100. Someone just rang, didn't miss out. No, you didn't, Mr. Offensive. I don't recognise your name, so hello to the new subscriber. Mark Duck, alright me Duck, how you doing? Just finished work and you start. Life of the slave, isn't it shizen? You'll get no sympathy from me. Tell you where you will find it though, in the dictionary, in between shizen and syphilis. Sympathy. There's no sympathy. It's all self-inflicted. You applied for a job just like I did. You applied for a job because you don't know how to use private money and divert public liability, and we don't know about trusts, but we do now. There is salvation coming. Mark Duck. G'day Aussie. Wow, Australia. Alright then. Did thinking you're probably on a night shift, but nice one. Been watching for long but only just subscribed. Mr. Offensive. Peace and love. That's what we like. Yes. Interaction. Thank you. Well said. We're learning. So if you haven't looked at the splspro.com, wow, I haven't built that. You saw the first one. It was red and white. It's been adapted. It's been modified. It's purpose built. It is aesthetically pleasing. Wow. I've done a declaration. It's a first draft of a first ever declaration. When you do a declaration, hello there David, who's that? Dodgy Doctors. Stan, I'm coming to you after. 100% we're going to have a chat. It is done, I promise. So the declaration, what went in there? It tells the trustees about their duties. It stipulates about the property, the website, the .com. I'm going to sign over because I have a lodial title to that property. My legal person has a lodial title. I am the authorised agent in office. So even though I am the man managing the website, when you sign up for one, it asks details, the Mr., the surname and everything else. You can't stipulate on these generic forms for the internet, international commerce under UCC. you cannot put anything else other than the generic text. If you don't put the generic text, then you don't build the website, you don't get your credit card, you don't get your bank account, you can't go shopping. Yes, so I own the title, my legal fiction owns it, but I paid for it out of the bank account. Yeah, it's not anybody else's, it's Mr. David Jeremita's, and I'm the authorised agent in office for Mr. David Jeremita. So whatever that gentleman in fiction land has, I have. So I've done my claim of right. I'll refer you to my claim of right one day. That's on a file on the .com website. So claim of rights has been performed, unrebutted. Maybe not done correctly. We can amend it, maybe do another one. I've already got an amended one. I own that. I'm going to sign it over to the trustees. The trustees will be legal title owners and holders of the property through the trust, the declaration trust deed, not the deed, well yeah the deed, but the declaration of a trust, private, express private trust. So I'll put the bank account in there, in the declaration, I'll put the trustees in there. If I get kidnapped or I die or I get sick, there is trustees instructions there on what to do. The purpose of the trust is in there. This is a secondary trust that we're creating, the first ever express private trust. There is a trust running on Facebook right now, and that is a first trust that we set up. So let me give you the babysitter trust explanation. The babysitter trust explanation is as this. You and your wife want to go out, you go on the internet and you book a babysitter, one that's licensed, one that's registered, one that's public, gone through all the system, the legal system. Your babysitter arrives. If I've said this before, I apologise to the new viewers and everyone else around the world. I'd like to refresh you. The babysitter arrives. You make a deal. You make an agreement, and the agreement is in private, without a court, probably without any paperwork. It will be verbally expressed. So you verbally express the trust relationship. They've turned up. You're going out. So the parents are what? And the trust and the parents. So we've got the trustee, we've got the settler, and we've got the beneficiary in all trusts. You can't be all three. You can in a special one, but we'd keep it basic. You can't be all three. So there's three parties and there's three positions. Have a look at this. I'll look at your comments afterwards, because you know me and my scattiness. Keep commenting. The babysitter is what? The parents are what, and the baby is what, out of settlor, trustee and beneficiary. Somebody have a go. Yes, I can't see these comments. I like your comments. Keep them coming. That's a lot of love for that man there. So in the trust relationship, the trustee will be the one that's enlisted with the duties, that's put in the declaration of what the trustee is to do, that the trustee signs. So he has a fiduciary capacity in which he has to operate in, and he doesn't do that at his own expense or her expense. He will do that at the expense of the settlor. The settlor provides the funds for the trustees to operate on, which is what we will do through this next trust we're being set up. So the beneficiary, who's the beneficiary, Mark? So there's three people in three parties: parents, parents, babysitter, and the baby. The three parties. And I'd like you to explain what position has what. So you've put their beneficiary. Who is the beneficiary? What are the parents, and what is the babysitter? Yeah, what is the baby in this position? It's always a triangle, much like the pyramid. They all seeing it's the strongest shape in nature. But I'm going to explain the babysitter. The babysitter is the beneficiary. No, Mark, you've not got that one right, but thank you for trying. Other people, you can have a go, brothers and sisters. This is why the .com is going to be a specialised network, because there is a distinct lack of trust in the world, and don't take that as a pun, even though it is. The trust relationships. You don't need to know you're in a trust to be in a trust. That would be called a constructed trust. Generally, it'd be bad for you. Good evening, everybody. Babysitter, admin. Admin's not an option. Who are you, Mr. Offensive? The babysitter is admin. No, the babysitter is either the trustee, the beneficiary, or the settler. You've got to pick. There's a triangle, and the babysitter has been called to look after the baby, and the parents have called that babysitter because the parents want to go out and they want someone to look after the baby. The public servants are the trustees. Yes, that's right. The trustees in their fiduciary capacity, live trying again. So the trustee, we're getting there. Trustee, Mr. Offensive, babysitter is the trustee. Well done. Yes, you got there. Babysitter is trustee. Chrissy, a living soul. Boom. Baby is the res put into the trust. Parents are donors and beneficiaries. Incorrect, but well done for trying, Chrissy. This is brilliant. Parents are settlers. Lindsay of the family Stainton. Boom. Parents are the settlers. It's a thing at the top, isn't it? Whoever owns the property is at the top as the settlor in the United Kingdom. Grantor, settlor, grantor. Yeah, we have different terminologies for different relationships and also in different countries. Bear with me. Shouldn't eat on camera. There's just no time. You see the time? 22:53, 54. So well done. We've got there. Parents are settlor at the top of the triangle. Whoever owns the title, like I own the website through my legal fiction, you can give that into trust. You have the allodial title, the bill of sale, or the proof of purchase, whatever you call it, you know, or you've got the title deed to that document. If you've got a deed and it's got a title on it and it's in a reference, it's a title deed, like the birth certificate. You've all got a title deed. So the title, whoever owns the allodial title at the top, which is the king position, as king, settlor, though we'll keep it simple, settlor. Yeah, and then the babysitter is the trustee, so that goes down here, babysitter, trustee, and then the baby is the beneficiary, so the baby's at the bottom, so that's your constructed triangle. And the relationship is constructed agreement where the settlors make the law and they say, these are our terms, these are our conditions, this is when we're going out, this is when we're coming back, that we would like you to look after. Maybe they've never met the babysitter before. Like to look after our child. We'll be back at 12. When the parents return, if all is well and the trust agreement, the verbal trust agreement has been adhered to by the babysitter and the young one's in bed, there has been no parties, all is well, the parents will pay the babysitter, so the settlor pays the trustee. It doesn't come out their own pocket, the trustee agrees to do something. We also know this as a contract though as well. Yeah, we've previously looked at this as contract, as we're working as income, as expenditure, which it can be under contract law, which is in the trust law. So you have variations of laws built on top of a foundation of laws, and it's how you get to the root of these laws, how you can operate differently, public and private. Contracts, only a man and a man can make a contract, as you know. A corporation, a soulless entity that's only living on paper cannot make a contract with a man. We make contracts, put thumbprints on it, agree with the body of text and 2 signatures. That would be an autograph contract by the private man or the living man with the thumbprints, using the private man as a legal instrument, not the all caps public state-owned name. So you understand there was an expression of a trust verbally. It was adhered to, and when the parents came back, they hand over the payment, the money, the agreed fee, and the babysitter will leave. The parents sit down, baby's upstairs or child or infant's in bed, the trust is collapsed, dissolved, gone. Next week, you want another babysitter, you ring up, you make your bookings, and a trustee turns up, the settlers go out, and the beneficiary stays with the trustee. So the website is going in to the trustees. They will sign for that, whoever they are, yet to be determined in the declaration. This trust will have a specific, unique title to identify it, not like the one that I created on Facebook, which is like the babysitter trust. This is just a verbal agreement we have on Facebook. Yeah, David's there, grantor, grantor for other countries, executor of the estate in some other relationships. We've got Facebook here, you guys, the members, and YouTube. But the ones that are on Facebook primarily, because I haven't set a trust upon YouTube, you just trust me with this visual. I tell you to go and research, get a pad, write down words, go and check it, look at multiple sources, use DuckDuckGo, get back to me. So the Facebook is the beneficiaries, David is the settlor, but who are the trustees? Yeah, that would be Facebook themselves. I trust them to provide a network and to keep the family open on that platform as a private closed group, and to manage everything and to give me notifications if Facebook fails in some area of technical data delivery or management of that private domain, on that private family domain on their network, then they failed as trustees to deliver. I am the settlor. I've kept up my part. The trustees also on Facebook, though, in this trust would be the current administrators and moderators, because the members trust them to advise and inform. Sorry, we don't advise. We do advise, but it's not legal advice. We're not licensed to. We give you the law. So they are the trustees as well. I am a trustee, and I am the settlor in this new trust relationship that's going to be formed. So as I've got the allodial title started the website, and somebody finished it, I'm at the top. I've got the allodial rights, title, deed, document, everything, email, hosting, passwords and all that. I can prove without a shadow of a doubt in law that domain is exclusively mine, my legal persons. I am the authorised agent of that, so I claim that. Interested party claim a right. So you got the trust there. Then I give that to the trustees, but then the bank account that I've opened, that will go down and add the trustees to, and change the bank from my legal fictions all cap name to the trustee trust account, to the trust, and put the account in the trust name. Or we remove Mr. David Jeremita, my legal fiction, all caps Dominicus, not the private lowercase. That's why the banks use the all caps Dominicus, because it's your foreign citizen, rah rah rah. And we put on the 3 trustees, or we put down the trust title for the bank account, and then the trustees are given access to it. I am removed or given minimum access. They have the 60-page checkbook, access to the bank account, and they own the domain. They've got the legal title. Now I've written in there that it can never be bought or sold. It can never be possessed. If anybody lays claim on my legal fiction for money owed, then I don't own that. I can stand on that trust once the declaration is done. It's a very technical document. I haven't looked at much trust and equity specifically from any material from Richard. I've only just got on a next level course because I'm ready for that. I'm looking at I'm going on a hardcore mission for trust and equity from one of the Grand Masters himself. And when I say Grand Masters, I don't mean that he is a master of that. He understands, he overstands, he cognises, and he's my mentor for the time being. Christian Walters is another mentor that I've had. Winston Shrout is another mentor that I've had. Carl Lentz is another one. There's many and various. There's still more to name, but with regards to the information that you get on YouTube, you will get a minimum amount, and yourselves, you get confused, things go wrong, it doesn't work. I've explained about the mixing of the 24 viewers. Get in, thank you very much. Bella. I've explained about the documents that come out of other such public domains, people, freedom fighting domains, that had at the top notice to principal, notice to agent, notice to principal, trust and equity. Then we was using the conditional acceptance and the proof of claim, proof of authority under contract law. But you can't directly mix 2 jurisdictions on the same A4 military bit of paper and try and put up a defensive argument. It's just going to fall down. So this is part of the law. The law is common and the law is natural. But what has happened, in my interpretation, look up this guy. What's this guy called now? You need to look at Chiron last. Chiron. This is why you need pen and paper. Chironlast. Find a playlist with 25 videos in. This is the man that tells you. He tells you a lot of amazing information. So I'd urge you to recommend him. He's a mentor of mine. I've mentioned Think and Grow Yourself Rich by Napoleon Hill. Absolutely banging. Get the PDF, go on YouTube, look at the video and the audio book. And the last one would be Chiron last. Alan Watts. So go on YouTube and just search Alan Watts. Listen, I applaud you to listen to that, and you will grow. You will see where we're on about. So we're talking natural common law. Yeah, and you need to listen to the philosophers speak as well when you help cognise the construct of the legal defaulted, mandated, statutes upon your person. This helps because, yes, I shouldn't have had to learn all this. I should not. I've had to set up the group, put the trustees in, start being an agent for behalf of the members, which are now turning into beneficiaries as this progresses in the Facebook group and on the private domain. And I shouldn't have had to learn all this. We don't need to buy books that are like that thick, 900 pages, in 2 volumes, at 600 to 1200 quid. out of the reach of the working man, because when you get the civil procedure rules and you look at them and you see how the court is governed and what they stipulate for evidence that's required, what the procedure is, if the case has any standing and certain things like that, if you're not privy to them because them books are 900, 1200, 500 quid out of the reach of, we'll never get there. These books are gold dust. They're what the barristers use in the United Kingdom. There are also white books as well. They're what solicitors use. They're not as hardcore or heavyweight. Literally, they're like that. They're my mentors. Then we've gone and looked at UK law. Then we've looked at all the acts and the bills, and we're putting them on the site for you to look at now. Bonafide, downloaded, .gov UK, and worldwide if the international UCC, UPU, whichever it is, Universal Postal Union rules, which is all over the world for the postage. You need to look at that and the stamps and how you postmaster stuff and what it means by adding value. You might add an equitable asset in the form of your legal person's signature and protect that under certain verbiage and text underneath. So when you apply that, you're saying that there's certain rules reserving rights and indemnification. You can put stamps on there, you put thumbprints on there, you can sign it. So you have a status and you have a capacity. You can choose that, and you can be public or you can be private. So back to common law, natural law, what has happened? As I said, you need to listen to their mentors and you need to recognise what's going on. They've merged the public, have become the public. Let me think. The public, this is not meaning the general public, military term, yes, are you the legal occupier? The general public, the public side, not as opposed to the private, the public has got public liability. There is no common law. The common law has been replaced with the legal trustee relationship. So ignorance is no defence. I was 13 in 1991, maybe 12, born in 78. Someone can work it out, I'm tired. And I saw what was going off with the rave scene and what happening with Margaret Thatcher and John Major and the Maastricht Treaty, and I was too young to recognise what was going on. But I remember these acts and statutes since 88, 91. I've seen how much the time has changed since I've taken. I'm 40 this May, so you can work that out as well. Since I was 12, 28 years, 28, 30, I've done well there since 28 years. Massive. I dread to think how many hundreds of statutes, hundreds of thousands have come along. So yes, let's go for some comments, because I've waffled enough there and I've seen a lot of action because I've been away for ages. Yep, you are learning. Nice one, Mark Duck. Dodgy doctors I've got there. So we got here. I've decided to become a member of the Bar Association. Awkwardly, my parents have decided to have me sectioned under the Mental Health Act, so I might not be around by end of this video. David, become a member of the bar. Awkwardly, my parents. You just having a giraffe there. He's having a babble. I don't understand that, but you don't want to ever become a member of the Bar Association. That's why your parents have you sectioned. And Mental Health Act, you're just a crazy loon, David. I remember you actually from a video before. Alias 69. David, natural lemon and honey coming down with a cold, mate. You can't beat nature's cures. Yes, Monsanto. But if it's not, it's got to be an organic lemon. You've got to try and get it so there's no GMO kicking around in there. But it's nice to drink, you're right. And if you're a smoker, you need that. It's not unpleasant, but it's not like your Coca-Colas, is it? There's not 33 cubes of sugar in that. There's mineral water and a lemon. Thank you for that, Alias 69. We are a law group, but we do a law movement, but we do like natural health remedies, cancer fighting remedies, stuff like that. Life trying again, good site, thank you. I miss John Harris, his website, I learned a lot. Life trying again. The reality is an illusion. Me and Serge did a video in homage to that man. It wasn't a piss take from him because he got me started as well. And when I saw him at the British Constitution Group, and when I saw that and I looked and I was like, wait, that was some years ago now, when I got onto it. It'd been 5 years, it got so many 100,000 views. I was like, wow, what's he doing now? What's happened? And I realised he was dead, or he'd just passed away. Or I found him and then he just passed away. I was like, wow, yeah, wounded. And I watched a few more of his videos and I saw that he got emotional. He actually started crying, man, and I've cried. I cried nearly on one video on here out the 100 and something. I'm not impervious to it, but I do try and have that there's to take the emotions out. But yeah, man, it's when somebody feels the passion and they've got the energy and they want to help but they can't. You do feel it there. When you can see the picture, there is no other emotion you will get. You won't get anger. Well, you do get anger in the beginning, and you do get hate. You see my first videos and how I was. I will never get any remedy because I've put my face on the internet, because I'm doing this for the good of the brethren, the man, the woman, the brothers, the sisters, the sovereigns, yeah, and citizens, people, brothers and sisters, people that are yet to wake up, that will wake up and then come back on these videos, my children, my property. I will never get remedy because the system will turn against me for this in more ways than one. Which we are prepared for, hence this declaration and doing it properly. So I'll get remedy through the private or express private trust, where I will work for the trust, and you that see the website and you see what we've done and you see how it's protected, and that David can't steal it, David can't embezzle it, David's working for the big man, and if I do out negative or wrong, it comes back to me, and I know this rule and I know this law. I use the power of intent. I use the law of attraction, and I pray to the vibration, the consciousness. There is no name, there is no figure in my mind. It's not man or woman. I just know there's a big energy up there. Call it the Akashic records, call it the interstellar matrix of life, call it whatever you want. It isn't a white man with a beard on a cloud. It isn't, all these religions around the world have kind of tricked us in a way. And all I can say is it works. And you guys are here. The connections that I've made are incredible. We have got a sovereign solstice that might be getting the name changed because it's not bang on the solstice. And, but August, first 2 weeks in July. We've yet to decide the first weekend in July or the second weekend in July. So we will post more up on that. But yeah, I need to tell you something important. I haven't got to the important bit yet. I'm building up to it. I'm trying to link in structure and direction. I'll read some more of your comments because I want to keep up with you because I get out of drift. And then so John Harris, beneficiary. This is to do with the test. The father is the informer. It is on the birth certificate. The mum and father inform that there is an entity created, and they offer it to the state. And when you do it under trust, you then become the possessory title owner, not the legal title owner. The deed, you pass it over, you get the title deed. What's a title deed? It's just a receipt to a property, isn't it? You got your children, they're still with you. Your parents' registration at the GRO. It's then something happens. There's a document given. There's an entry made in a book, and you get the document for that entry made in the registrar's entry book. Yes, it's a certificate to say that rights and things have been handed over in trust. And the Queen, maybe it isn't maybe fraud and it is deception, but the fraud part is that there is remedy, because if there wasn't remedy, when this got to the European Courts of Human Rights or the Hague and stuff, we would have seen that clever folk, cleverer than us to be fair, would have done this years ago and took them to court and said that the United Kingdom is holding slaves because this is the way that it is, and if you don't pay the demands made upon your legal person, Big Barry comes, knocks at the door, and off you go to pay, and more fees and more fines. If you've got children, they get took into forced adoption. Yeah, it's nasty, it really is. So you rewind it all and you realise there has been remedy given. It isn't fraud. It is deceptive, but it isn't fraud. There is a system at play, and we've exposed the system. We know where it is and how it operates, and where its tentacles are, and how it hooks on, and what key things it needs, and what we are de-enforcers. They have the enforcement team, and Marston's and Equita and bloody whoever they are, you know what I mean, LBW enforcements, JBW, I'm agents for some beneficiaries at the moment, LWS solicitors. I've got one agent with 2 cases with JBW, another beneficiary with another claim for JBW. So we're getting there, but it is trust and it is a relationship. And once you've got that and you understand and you cognise and you overstand, which we will teach you, everyone gets access to the site in this trust. Everyone can be a member. What we will do is limit the amount of information. You got to just look at what we've got. Forums, and then you've got the profiles that you can make. You've got messaging. You've got the resource library archive that's been checked by yours truly, and it's been checked by most of Facebook members. I know that's not a great accolade, but for the 3,000 heads, 2,760 summit, I believe, in there, that's a master brain. Reference Napoleon Hill for you, master brain. The master brain have worked on this for 2 years, and we've done more turning out of accurate, concise finding and redrafting of remedies and bringing out the trust and equity into this relationship and everything else, that here we are now. It's 13, and we've got 25 viewers. The website's looking brilliant. It's got not millions of applications, but the sovereign security, we've even looked at that. That's just popped out of nowhere. Possible to do. So, you know, you can get access to the family, you can remain on Facebook, the Facebook group will never be shut down unless the domain managers decide to shut it down, aka one half of the trustees. Yeah, it's possible. Documents, forums, messages, videos. Next thing, I'm getting old. As I say, I'm 40 in May. I have on this channel got accomplishments of me. My latest one, if you, after watching this, please go to uploads, my uploads, not playlists, Indiglo uploads, and listen to the agent and the 2 officers that ran off, I think I called it. That was a secondary phone call that I made to instruct, as the agent of these trustees, we'll call them, enforcement. I was the deforcement, and the clamp come off. A vulnerable lady in England, new claim. When I rang them up, they didn't want to know, so they kept hanging up. So when I rang up again, you know, you tell them what's what, you get the names, and you move through it. If they don't listen, you ring the police. But as it happens, we've done it. I've done it quite a few times, but I don't want to be the one to do this. You need the power, you need the strength, you know it works, you can hear the videos, you know how to be an agent, you know the relationships, you know the language. There's phenomenal amount of work to be done here, there really is, but together we'll do it, and we'll do it legally, lawfully, peacefully, and we do it so it's going to be different. It's what the government should have done for you, but they tricked you with their language, they tricked you with the phonetics, they tricked you with entertainment. I got tricked with Sega at 6, oh dear, Alex Kidd, Shinobi, Golden Axe, oh yeah, you know what I mean. Then I got a Game Boy, then I got a Nintendo, then I got an Atari ST, I think I might have had a Commodore 64 tape machine at some point, ZX Spectrum, wow. That just wasted time, didn't it? Get to the end of a 2 90-minute tape, oh, error, return. But Treasure Island Dizzy did me a lot of good, that game. I didn't just play the blasters. I had an inquisitive mind when I was younger, so we got distracted. It's our own fault. There was the knowledge to learn, but there wasn't the internet. So now we've become non-ignorant, and I've stopped DJing and chasing, you know, my dreams around the world. And I've given up my vinyl records and my MP3 and all the tunes and records that I had. I've given them up and traded them for Akashic records. And what's coming is coming thick and fast to this old, in this dome here, under the dome, is like this much information squashed in. So that's why I'm a bit sporadic with my chats, and there is no script. We have got a lot to offer you, and you guys are all beneficiaries. You'll get to know the trustee relationship situation. I am the settlor and the trustee of all of this new trust. It's not like the Facebook trust, because it involves finances, it involves tangible property, intangible property, intellectual property. There's a lot of property to, you know, consider in this, and if you don't do it right and it goes to court and the judge cannot see a trust before him, or I cannot stand on that trust, or I cannot prove that that trust is there with the 3 certainties and such are the verbiage, and you know, it's quite complicated, which is why I've taken a secondary course now, because there is only so much you can find on YouTube and through those guys that I did you know, mention earlier from YouTube. There becomes a limit, and then you need the documents, you need to see stuff. Power of attorney, that in itself is amazing, but if you don't know how to fill out or what a power of attorney is, or how many types of power of attorney, whether it be general or lasting powers or yada yada yada, you need to know what kind of power of attorney to assign, what a power of attorney will do, how much it costs, if anybody's going to charge you, can you trust them. So this is another thing. The group last week, a cry for help, young lady said she was vulnerable, children, hospital appointment, clamps on the car, they know that she's vulnerable, what can she do? Everyone's saying get in the car, cut the clamp off, blah blah blah, and I said, if you need help, I've just got up, it was 10:15, I was on a day off, you know, I'm up till 5 in the morning with the website and chatting to Greg, so I get up late. I said, you need help, here's the phone number that's on the website that you can all call, it's on in that room there, and let me know. She called within 15 seconds. I just got up, not because somebody called, that's brilliant, because she trusts, and she went, right, what do we do? And I was like, oh, I've just woke up. Okay then, we're off. So I just got up and I still managed to sort it out. That's not an accolade to me, it just means that anybody can do it. I want to teach this out to everybody. She'd been told to sit in the car, because if you sat in the car, vehicle, private property, whatever, just it's late, you sat in the car and they want to take it away. Are they insured for a human to be sat in there to be towing it away? No, they're not. So well done to SPL's beneficiaries, because they work together. So being a beneficiary is a real benefit to you, because in the forum on the private domain, or whether you're in the private domain on the Facebook, you've got both of them that you can both be a member of, and you've got the two, and you'll see which one you are suited to best. But the .com is the professional one, where we will be professional. We will not tolerate any kind of foul play. It is not a schoolyard. It is a professional place to study trust and equity. That's it, period. But it's also the home of our trust. It's the home of the beneficiaries, and I will be, you know, putting it into the as a res, correctly said, whoever said that, and it will be protected forever. And this is going to grow, and when it grows, we'll buy land, we'll buy property. It can't be touched, it can't be stolen, it can't be embezzled. So there is nothing like this that I know of. There is certain other people holding trusts and buying any debts and doing certain things and moving stuff about, but I'm not a teacher and I'm not a leader. What I have is a vision and a type of brain that can enable this mission to happen. Now, as I said to our lads, I think I might be on a bit of a contract with this guy up here, energy, spirit, consciousness, and I'm going to follow it through. So what have I done? What's the other big news? What have I done? Can anybody guess? I've got some big news. It's about faith, taking a leap of faith. I'm overworked. I can't do this, as you've seen. I'm not even eating my dinner yet. It's gone cold because I'm chatting to you. And it's already 11 o'clock. You know, it's 20 past 11. That's just... So have a think, what could David have done that's good news for you? That's still the thing. Lindsay, I got to you. Parents, beneficiary, getting on. Alright, yeah, got you. Blah, blah, blah. Is it toilet time? Come on, ladies. I've covered up the camera. Oh, bless you. Carry on, you're in front of the camera there. That's it. That way. We'll protect the family. Yes, have a guess at what I've done. Here we go. Evening all. Albert F. Matthews. Hello, I didn't know you was on Choob, brother. Parents, trust store. Trust store, where are you to put trust store? Trustee. Yes, trust store is a word, but that's a different context what you've used there. Alias, do what the state does and create a quasi-trust. Ah, well, yeah, well done for your knowledge. Yes, there are many types of trust. I don't want to do what the state does, because it might be a public statutory trust, mightn't it? It might not be a private one. Danger, public and private. Life, trying again. Public servant. Your screen name tells me you've had a lot of pain. I'm not trying to proke you there, but that's quite a poignant screen name, and I can relate to that, and I think a lot of people could, so respect for trying again. Public servants act as agent for company in contract law. And contract law is what? It's got what in it? What's contract law got in there, life trying again? Contract law has got what in it? It's got something what you sign. Let's just see you later. Good night, chicken. Ciao for now. Amarie kisses. How about yeah. I'm busy. There we go. Right. Contract law has got constructed an agreement in there. You think you're signing a contract when you go to the bank. You want a bank loan, and they've said come down. Come on, it's all right, chicken. Family life. You want a bank loan, you've gone down and you signed the bank loan, and it's got the text on there. You haven't written that text. What did I just say a contract was previously? A contract is written between two what, and it can't exist between a what and a what. I'm not having a go. I like this. It's good because it prompts me as well. So contract law, yeah. So is it contract law, or is it something else purporting to be contract law? In which case, it could be a constructed agreement what you've signed with only one signature, which means it's not a contract, because a contract requires a certain amount of elements to make it a contract. Like a trust requires a certain amount of elements to be stand as a trust. So yes, public servants act as agent for company in trust law, not contract. You're very, very close though, so don't be deterred. I'm not having a go. We work together. Sound wave. Whoa, this Autobot. I like that. Sound wave. The DWP think it's law to sign third-party contracts. Backfired, that did. Oh, well done, Soundwave. Chrissy, a living soul. Look at your screen names. I like it. The banks are beneficiaries. Usually poke their nose in. Wag wag boobs. The banks are not the well, they are the yeah, you're right. The banks are the beneficiaries as it is right now, but we should be the beneficiaries, because when you sign that constructed agreement, you bring that money into play. And what happens is you create the money. It's a bit rusty, I've yet more to go, but I've done my money mechanics now. You create the money by assigning your equitable asset, which is your legal man's signature, onto the paper, because they're dead and they're just a 2D, so they can't sign. So you sign for them. The money is then created out of thin air. It used to be brought out the back in gold, I believe, when there was gold and bullion to back it, but we won't go there, bear with. You sign it. It's created digitally. It did not exist. You've then created that money, as I've just said. You then lend it them without your knowledge, because you've created it. Then they lend it back to you, and then they give you the interest. So there was no money. You create it. They take it from you. They give it you back, and there's interest. Now this is insured. This is insured. So you take that 10 grand. It didn't exist. You created it. You gave it them. They want 20 grand back, 18 grand, whatever. 20 grand. It's a round number. You start paying it. You pay 3 grand off. You get into trouble. You lose your job. What happens? You get defaulted, yeah, and you don't pay. Recovery, collection, enforcement. That policy is insured. It's underwritten. The money never existed. So they take that and they give you the bill and they pass it. They sell it to the collection agent. That's that one that you should have repaid, dealt with. Then they claim for the insurance and go that way, and insurance pays out for it. So they sell it that guy. They get the insurance that way, and it never existed. Oh, once I teach this, once we get this out to the United Kingdom's people, right, and we turn them into men, and we tell them they're dead, we bring them back to life, we do all the magic, we click our heels, we show them the yellow brick road, the man behind the curtain. Wow, we haven't even started. This is just scratching. This is not even into the trust. This is the mechanics of the money and the monetary mechanics. I'm going to go into mortgages and SPVs and everything else that I've picked up on, but that in itself is just dirty. So thank you, Soundwave. And thank you, Chrissy, a living soul. Live trying again. DWP Limited. Use statute law 2. Conditional acceptance under duress when signing under duress. VC. What does VC? Most people get this wrong. I'm not a genius or an expert, but I have told I've compressed a lot of learning. I'd like to know what VC stands for in your opinion, and I will give you mine. Blu-ray sold. The bank should be trustees, not the... Yeah, boom, there you go. He knows it. See, as I've just said. Live trying again. Yeah. Blu-ray T. Haha, yes you will. I took them to tribunal and won in 9 minutes. Soundwave, gotcha! Ooh, ooh, yes. I took the CSA, another 3-letter. Notice how it's all 3. Chiron Last will tell you all about this. But I took the CSA to a tribunal, 12 grand, incorrectly applied. Every time I rang up, I owe it, blah, blah, blah. Went to the tribunal, moi, the representative for the CSA, and over there was a representative for the Secretary of State. I didn't know any of this, but that's when the spark went off, you know. I knew it was wrong. I can't see my property. I've got a contract with you. I called it a contract. It was an agreement in a trust relationship, but I didn't know that. Been 2 years at court, high court, with a barrister, 20 grand. Oh. As you know, any dads that are fighting for the children, they need to come to our site, because now we know how it goes. We know. Dush, dush, dush. You won't even go to court. You might do. Don't take me on word for that. So, well done, Soundwave. That is, beautiful. Bella, Bella. Who did EWP? David. Side thought, not bar. If the state relies upon the CQV Act without disclosure to prosecute and has not actioned it after 6 years, it's 7, I believe, but go on. Argument that any such action is statute barred. No, it's not statute barred. It's not statute, no. You can't make a prisoner, right, and say, right, you're a prisoner, but if you don't try and get out within 6 years, you're a prisoner for life. No, we have rules. There was a war fought, for the love of Jeebus. There was a war fought, yes. There was a man called Hitler that wanted to kill lots of people and make, you know, things his own way. We'll just, sorry for mentioning the H-bomb. Yeah, and we had a war, yeah, and allegedly we won, and we are free, and there are no dictators, and we are under the illusion of being free, but we are not. And when you look into trust law, not the 6 years statute barred, what does statute barred come from? The public side. What does statute barred govern? The public side. So where are we? We're on the private side. What does trust and equity govern? The private side. So why would you use the public side to argument with the private side? I'm sorry, I hadn't had much sleep, but you know, I'm just playing with you, brother, and I like to get you involved, so I'm getting involved. No, wrong. Soundwave, yes. Mucky duck, here. Sitting on a balcony in Alicante, getting into Triple Crown's papacy. What went on after Diana, as my host went to school with Philip, but denies any knowledge. Getting out of my depth. Help. Seamus McKeon, you are a little bit drunk then, yeah? We'll talk a little bit later. God rest Princess Diana. That's nasty what happened there. That really is. Looking, just like 9/11, they are sacrifices. It was said that Diana's marriage to such and such was set in stone, and you blah blah blah, and you look at where they go and the kids and who they're with and who the families are, and then look at what Diana was doing and how she went against the crown, and then I don't want to say anything live on tube. Be careful, David, but Seamus, we will speak later, or something offensive. Alan Watts was amazing. His lessons are timeless. What a mind! What? Actually, what? Now look at his name, Alan Watts. What does that? How is it spelled? Look at the phonetics. Not W-O-T, W-A, as in electricity. I don't know if he picked that family name, if you know that's his legal person's editing, or if that's his name. But the Watts, the power, the connection. I've got electricity too much, you know I have. I should be tired sleeping now. But now I've been on the afternoon shift, so not till about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, Greg, 3 o'clock, Rock. So thank you for that. Yeah, also though, I must urge you, Napoleon Hill, go, write it down, and you can thank me later. It still haven't told you my big news either. You got to guess what my big news is, but you know, I'll see. DWP's Crown Corporation, owned Limited, dyslexic, life trying again, like me. I used to spell it like that, Corporation, C-O-R, Corporation, yeah, that's right, but it doesn't missed an R out. Owned limited company, claimed to be government. Look up Company's House, yes, but don't just look up Company's House. Dun and Bradstreet is also a valuable 30 viewers, come on. Andy Sovereign Smith's not even on. I thought I got viewers for him, but wait till he sees this one. Boom. Look up Company House, Dun and Bradstreet also, and you can look up, I can't think where that other one is, something to do with, I think it's expertinalllegalmatters.com. Steve McRae's got some good links. I know he's got the bond link number to put in the website for your birth certificate. It's fidelity.com. He's got a step-by-step guide on that, but I'm not sure the other one I'm thinking of. Look up Company's House. Yeah, right, when you go to court and it's a lower circuit, magistrates court or a county court, what's behind the judge? What is there? What is it? It's a family, it's a crest, a coat of arms and a crest. It denotes something, a house of, a standing, an establishment, an entity, something, a corporation, a business, something, yeah? So I'm not going to tell you what, you can have a guess, but first guess what my other big news is. It's there, it's not hidden, it's there. So you've got into the domain, Crown Corporation, and it isn't what we think it is. It is a business, and it is not justice. And when we go in there thinking it's justice, what did I say to someone called Ken Doss that I've seen put for 2 years on Facebook, put remedies out weekly, and I said enough's enough. You shouldn't put things out you call remedies. If you haven't tested it and you haven't seen that it works, don't be fooling everybody. These desperate folk, our brothers and sisters, that will do anything and believe anybody without using the due diligence, without doing any research, without cognising, understanding everything that Indiglow's shown through the videos up to this point. So I had a little in England, he's in America. There's people on this thread from New Zealand, Australia, Canada, America, England, France, Italiano, all over the world on this thread of this Americans with his probably 200th remedy, and he's saying the birth certificate has got nothing to do with it. That I was like, whoosh, What do you mean the birth certificate's got nothing to do with this legal slavery from the Roman cult that we're still living under, Roman civil law and canon and ecclesiastical and the UCC? Let's have a look at this. What's he got? And I'm looking on. He didn't put any guts in it as such. And I was like, no way, that's a bonded document. He's putting people off the path there on purpose. So I replied, I don't know where you guys, well, I do know where you guys are, but as I just explained it, but I said to them, I don't know where you guys are. It was a rhetorical statement. But here in the UK / Anglo / landmass known as England, we have 3 types of court. Now to this man. And the first court is a lower court. It's a circuit court, the counties and the magistrates and those ones, the lower ones. And basically, when you go there, there is no law. They're actually dissolved, and that's another thing. Looking at Companies House and Dun and Bradstreets and that, look at if they are dissolved, when they was dissolved. If you haven't been trading since 2012, and also look at the United Kingdom, yeah. Well, while you're on about the DWP, look at courts, magistrates, county, do some digging. I'm not going to give it you all, and also look at the United Kingdom and see when that was last trading. So yeah, and then I said, so we recognise these courts and the clown courts, we don't really go there, we advocate not to go. When you get a summons to appear, or if you do want to appear, you will appear by special appearance, because you're not a spirit, yeah. And when they want you to represent, when they say now you've been summoned, you need to attend, and then you need to appear. So we will attend, yes, no problem, here we are, but not the legal fiction. The legal fiction comes with what? With what is it? Yes, the birth certificate. Yes, the birth certificate. So that will help you in the courts, and you will submit it for and on the record, to the clerk, and you will say, for and on the record, I submit the commercial body of Mr. David Jeremita to the court for to be dealt with on regarding these matters. And they'll be like, whoa, you don't play them games in a bloody public courthouse. They don't like that. So, that's done. You can, that's the lower side of it. I said the second side are what we'd call the high courts, where I went. I went to get access to my property for 2 years, and fucking horrible. Sorry for swearing, but yeah, it is nasty. And they tricked me. My barrister committed barratry, personage, fraud, deception, and took money from it, saying 20 grand, and saying that I could get to see my property, children. There was fraud and deception done there. If I'd have known this then, I could have done all this myself. I didn't even need a barrister. You don't need a barrister. You shouldn't get a barrister. You need to think very carefully before you deal with this law society, because they operate under their rules, not ours, not the common natural law that's now become public trustee status. And then we've got the high courts. And I've mentioned this before. The Privy Council, the high ones, the Chancery, the Equity, the Chancery, High Courts of Chancery, and the Privy Council, and certain things as. Look at when woman got wrote into law. It happened in somewhere up near New Zealand. Was it Canada, 1960 something? How did women get written into law? Women were always in law, but they weren't, no, they had to be written in. So this is what court wrote them women. Canada had a law case going off, and they had a problem because this woman wanted it sorting out, and they were like, oh, women don't exist in law, oh, so you can't have your justice. And she was like, my sisters burn their bras, sorry about the voice, my sisters burn their bras and I can't get my day in court. So they're like, alright, well, she kicked up a fuss and wrote to the Privy Council in England, the United Kingdom, Britannia, the Commonwealth, and the Privy High Courts went, oh shit, scheisen, yes, oh dear, the women are revolting, and it seems we need to put them into the law now. They think they've got brain enough to manage the law. Can you imagine this, Cuthbert? A woman in a court. We never thought this day would ever come. They burned their bras. We thought that'll be it. So anyway, check that date, check that info out. They got written into law. So that's the high courts. They do business. So that's where you need to get to. They're the only ones you should ever deal with, but they only do certain, they're called high courts for a reason. The Royal Courts of Justice, the European Courts of Human Rights, The Hague, Mr. Tony Blair, The Hague, hey, who should be in The Hague now? I've mentioned this loads. Yes, not because he was a trust lawyer, not because he embezzled loads of money, not embezzled, wrong claim, sorry, take that back. He is working for a high-class private banking authority though, and conglomerate, entity in the billions. I won't mention what company, but Tony Blair's protected. Tony Blair was a trust lawyer. Tony Blair should go to The Hague, and he won't. Trust protects him, and so does the picture in the front room that I've got, the people in them buildings, the government. So yeah, wow, that was a big answer, whatever that was. Yeah, copy, claim, seal, red thumbprint, life, trying again, I like that. Yep, commerce also. Soundwave, I was sanctioned for not signing providers' contracts. Ooh, back to work soon. Nice one, Mark. See you later, brother. Thank you, Australia. I might come over soon. Darren Jennings, I need to catch up with you, Mr. J, and somebody else, Mark and Darren. What were you called? Ah, you are Darren's mate, I think. Aha. We're going to get over and see you. We're going to have a nice little trip. Life, yeah, Soundwave. Careful dealing with public servants, i.e. don't let on much to public. Yes, when they ask you questions, they ask you leading questions. So is that Mr. And who are you the... Whoa. Let's just stop. You've got rights here, and they seem to assume a lot, and you need to rebut their assumptions and presumptions. That's in law, and that's in the legal construct, and they often don't know. We had a video put in the group of Steve McRae ringing up the TV licence, asking the lady on the phone about the legal occupier status and such things as, and he wasn't wanting to give his personal data, his person's data, i.e. the name, which was a legal occupier, and on the letter was a reference number. So we rang him up to say, I'm not a combatant. What do you mean I'm a legal combatant? How dare you call me that? Which is right, respect to him. Well done, brother. And she was right nice. She spoke like this, like I've had one myself before, and she was like, without the name, I can't really help you, love, I'm sorry, but it's got the reference number. I'll give you this reference number. It's come to this house. This house is where this reference number is. Type this on your screen. And she started typing it in because she wanted the name and the address confirming. He was offering the account, the reference number from the letter, from the TV or the water or however it was. And they're not trained, because if they were trained to understand, cognise, and, he's used the word trust, on the phone and that. Yeah, well, it's my trust and I'm the vendor. Oh, did you just say trust, sir? In that case, this way, freedom, and they pass you on to someone to get dealt with because you've used the word trust or beneficiary or settlor or misconstrued or things like that. Then, that would be criminal, because unconscionable. It would be... criminal, because you can't give some people justice and not the others. So what they've done is made it all the same all over these telephone network. Even when I ring up and I speak to an agent company, an enforcement company, they don't know what words I'm using. When I say, do you understand what I've said? They go, yes, we understand. When I say, this, that, the other, this is a legal notice. It doesn't matter what you say and what you think, and you're not going to call off the agents. I am instructing you as this lady's agent under law, and if you do not listen and you do not act, then I will be putting in a counterclaim to that man who is coming, the physical man, his name, his public liability insurance, and we will do him for damages. And if he's not on the bailiff's register, if he hasn't got the correct paperwork that he's purporting to have, with a liability order and an order for taking control of goods, and it doesn't all square up, then that man will be seeing his day in court as a claim against him, not a complaint. We will put in a claim, and when we put in a claim, what do? We must have the burden of proof. Yes, we will, because that's why we do this. Then I let the agent know on the phone that he must now let John Mason know of the Judicial Department of JBW that I have noticed the what? The agent. The agent has been noticed. So now he must notice the principal. But he won't, because he doesn't know what to do. So I say your floor manager needs to listen to this MP3. Once they've listened to this MP3 and they hear the words claim and criminal and certain other key words, of which I'm not obliged to tell you. There's somebody's grandma here we're talking about. And you're saying she owes money, but she doesn't, in fact, actually owe any money. She's not being deemed guilty in a court of law, and she can't drive. She hasn't driven for 5 years. So she's got medical evidence to back that up. Now you take my word is my bond as her agent, and you listen to me, and you act as instructed under law. Forget your policy, forget your mandated statutes, and forget your shit. This is a real woman, someone's grandma, and you're going to cause her harm. If she has a heart attack, she passes out, she craps her pants, she does anything like that, or she rings somebody up and she has to go and live somewhere else for in fear, you're causing her harm, injury, stress, duress, and you're threatening her life. That's how I'm going to leave it. You've been noticed. This call is recorded. I am her agent, and we will deal with it when we are ready. You extend the waiting period, whilst the statement of truth is received and dealt with by the DVLA. 10 days is not adequate enough. We'll call it an extra extension now. And he said no. He will put notes on the file to say that I have called up and that the agents must bear with. I said, no, the agents don't bear with. The agents do, as this agent says. You tell your agents. You see now there's a bit of a connection going off, isn't there? We're both like at the same... You didn't like it. And I said, it doesn't matter you don't like it. I've instructed you. It's recorded. This is not illegal. This is a lawful request. This is a legal and lawful request for a criminal act to stop, because you are enforcing policy to enforce... You're using policy to break the law. Now, policy doesn't override law, does it? No. There we go. Sorry again, I went off on one. It was about the website and everything like that and the trust, but we are getting there. This is a good trust explanation and you are being interactive, so I will return back because yeah, you've been kicking their ass for 10 years. They have tried 27 sanctions and you have won a lot. Soundwave 07931 775 967 tomorrow after 10. Give me a tinkle. We are going to chat. I hope you're in the Facebook. If you're not, then getting onto the domain. If not, give me a text, or if you can't call, text it, ring it. The source, Mr. Offensive, the source, HP, that is. Little bit of, we got lots of sauce, mate. Which one? What are you saying? That was a bit back, I can't remember. Mark Christopher, it's well worth looking up on Cronham Law. Oh my days. David, I don't think you're a real viewer. I'd work at all. Watch out for David. David doesn't, he keeps coming up with comments that are just wrong, contrasting, not right. There's something telling me here. My vibrational frequency tells me that David is sent here to confuse and distract. I have it on good authority without me committing liability. Since in a way I'm speaking after you know what I mean? It's 11:45. We've just done 8 hours. Man don't have his dinner yet. Let me see that time there. And I'm speaking like this, and you're telling people to go to someone like Mark K. Christopher. Oh, don't anybody ever go there. He's out of SPLs. I took him out. You need to do your research and due diligence on that man. He has a deep insight into the psychology of the legal system and how they trick us by legal. What evidence has he got? What has he done that's worked? What can he prove? Is he got a track record for doing what, you know, everyone else does, including me, looking after you, supporting you, providing you a phone number, answering emails? Granted, they're not straight away answered, but I get there. The comments I don't bother with on the channel because there's too many shills and trolls and weirdos, to be fair, and some that just don't understand and get too totally confused. I've only got a finite amount of time and I can't re-educate one man at a time. We do it en masse and we do it together with force. So I'm not a fan of Mark Christopher, and your comments aren't really always that good, David. Can you explain, if you how long you've been following Indigo, what your thoughts are on this concept and stuff like that? I'd like to hear some comments from you about you and about me and about this subject, about the matter, how far you are. You confuse me. Oh dear, John Harris has got me into it, then he died, he was brilliant. Same here, Chris is a living soul. Peace and love to that. His spirit lives on. His spirit will live on. Mark Christopher is awesome. Mr. Offensive, well, that's your opinion and you're entitled to it after what I've just said. I'll send them on. Didn't commit any defamation of character and I didn't commit any slander. I just give my personal opinion on a talker that I've listened to and I've watched. And I'm very attentive and I notice things that others don't, and I watch words and words and words and words for 2 hours on a screen, and it finishes and I put another one on and that just carry on. Yeah, I've done a lot of research and on that. Romney Stewart, I do like him. Yes, called The Perfect Crime. Superb trust information for people understanding about trust and language fraud. Justinian Deception channel. That is quality. Justinian Deception. Yes, you are right. I like that. Yes, his return to sender strategy is brilliant. I use similar techniques. Well, we all can. Yes, that's brilliant. I don't know what his are, but there is a legal and lawful way to do this that is unfallible. I've seen Mark Christopher and watched John Harris and got onto your channel. Class. Mark Christopher, everyone's got their own right to stuff, you know. I make my mind up, you make your mind up, you know. People say I'm a shizen and I don't know what I'm on about, and I have made mistakes, errors and omissions and amendments and revisions and corrections and alterations. It's just life. That's learning. If you stay the same, it gets a bit boring, but you know, everyone's got their own opinion. So David, ECHR is civil law and only country to the... it becomes clear now about your comments. Foundation principles of actual human rights. Yeah, that's right. You can use them to get... anyway, actual human rights that are recognised by international UN covenant equals steer clear of it when possible. So, it's your human right not to be a slave, yeah? It's your human right not to... it's your human right to have persons. Look at it again, and it says it's every human's right to have persons. Now, why must we have persons? That's the remedy right there. I'll give you a little nugget. So we use the European Human Rights Act, and we say it's everybody's right to have persons. I've looked at the Act, so I'm not going to go through it all now, but it is the public side, it is the statutory side. That's fine. We use that a lot. It's my beneficiaries' human rights to have access to stuff, to not live in fear, to have the legal rights of persons, so then they can use them as instrumentation to govern themselves on the seas of commerce without accepting the full liability themselves. But yeah, you are right. We are focused on the private, but that public side, you can win stuff fast, so you'd use it. Somebody that's commercing, that's committing contract, that's driving a big lorry, might not be allowed to take his break by his boss, but it's and have a drink and have food. So he's contracting, he's driving a lorry, and his boss says, no, you can't stop, get to Scotland. He's like, but I'm tired, I need a coffee, I want to have a fag, I need a break, boss, it's been 7 hours. And it's like, no, you need to go. But it's, it's contract law, it's employment law, and it's his right to have, rights at work. So yeah, you can bring human rights into a lot of things. Human rights, what is human rights? Yeah, go and look at it in it's public. You are right though, I'll give you that. It does work though, and you use it. You meet people, entities, claims, complaints at the correct level of law that they bring it to you at. So if they bring it to you at law public level, you don't fight it with a private response. You look at the at law public level. They bring you a private claim in, then you look at it and you answer it with a private level. You don't ever mix the two, because that's when you just fail. So yes and no, and respect for that. The trick is in the spelling, i.e. they use, Chrissy, they use spells. I'm getting, watch the golden web, Chiron last. See, it's all in here. Chiron last, the golden web. There's 3 videos. You're going to love this, Chrissy. Get ready to pop. Alias, you're not old. I'm 49 this year. That's getting old, mate. Yeah, it is actually. You got 9 years, 50s. We'll see what happens. It will be a big party, though, when I get 50. Chiron last. I found a playlist. Go on DuckDuckGo or put into YouTube actually on your app, Chiron last, and you'll find a playlist. If not, I'll put it on when I get time on this video. You'll find it. You're right, mate. It's all about researching. Alias 69. It's the only way. We're all on this. Yeah, it is. I haven't got a duty to you. I haven't got a responsibility. I haven't got an obligation. But I love you like my brothers and sisters, and you need to know, because you just can't learn quick enough. Null and void, just joking on the cause I trust. Trying to explain the spells, my wife. Sandwiches, I like that. Sandwiches, yeah, spells, spell casting. Banks love for deception. VC is being forced by coercion on threat of harm by state. No, the sign, what does it mean? Victor Charlie. Has anyone guessed my good news, my big news yet? Wow, we've got a lot of comments. Corporation is correct spelling. Anyway, VC, come back to me with that. Most people say it's V coactus. So if you're about to say VI coactus, COATUS, then I wouldn't say is that. I would say it's something else. Yeah, we'll go for it. Mark, cartoon, easy bro. Your big news is you've quit your job and full-time self-employed. Let the game commence. Blu-ray Soul. I've quit my job, and effective as of the 31st of March, my brother, I'm no longer working for the corporation. That is correct. I don't have another job to go to. No, I don't. I do not. Greg, I've taken the leap of faith. I haven't registered with any agencies. I'm not going to register with any agencies. I'm not going to be my legal person, that is. I'm going to let the trust take care of me, and in that time between now and the 31st of March, David's got a massive job. Got to get this trust expressed, proclaimed, the declaration of trust sorted out, the title deed and that to everything sorted out, the trustees in place, get everything signed, bank account changed over, and then the SPLspro.com is going to be in that trust, I might look at registering it for tax. Don't shout at me and scream and swear. It's got a lot of monetary advantages to it. We can still remain private, I believe. Yeah, we can, and I need to look into that. So again, wow, 12. What we got on here? 1,500 subscribers and 3,700, 2,700 Facebook. So we'll call that what, 4,000, 3,000 there, 4,500 minus that 300, 4,200. Let's say that 1,000 of them to come to the pro.com and they do a pound, you know, they join up and they want material and stuff, so they decide to pay £1 a month for the £12 donation for the year. This is for the trust. It will be then used, as I've explained at the beginning of this video, for remuneration only and out of my hands. Then yeah, it's off. It's really good. It will remunerate me, and anybody like Andy Sovereign Smith that wants to come out in the van and do some agent, bailiff, sheriff, police interaction and removal, then we will get him on the case, and it's on like Donkey Kong. Gaviscon. I've got to reheat my pizza. It's a good job. Yeah, oven's still warm. I'm so hungry. I was starving when I come home, you know. This is what I do for you lot. Put myself out. Put others before yourself. Like a fool. No, not like a fool. So yeah, well done Blu-ray Soul. The Trust will be officially, I'll be working for the Trust full time as of the 1st of April 2018. By that time it will be protected, untouchable, bulletproof, nobody can harm it. Just let me eat a piece, guys, sorry. David, lol. I'm just going to laugh at you, Dave. Alias 69. Alias 69. Corpus Juris. Well, all lower courts were dissolved in 08. So was United Kingdom. Sorry, not 12, 08. Yeah. How the cell working? Good results. 7NX. How's the cell work? I don't know what that's to. Mandy Media. House or dwelling? Dwelling. Private. House public. Who's in a cell? Yeah. No commercial buildings are not liable for bills. That's... Yeah, no, yeah. Council tax and bills are commercial. With postcodes and blah blah blah. Yep, yeah, but all judges have sworn their oath to Unidroid. Ah, yes, I said that to Electric, denied right of access. They said they can come out. Said they could. They don't get in, or is only applicable. They use the Gas Act, Mandy. Say, oh no, Electric. But if Electric's with, they'll get a warrant under the safety for gas bills and electric bills. It's not just only gas. No, it is only gas for your gas meter. Let me think a minute. That's right, I'm so tired and hungry, my brain can't work. Yeah, they will get fraudulent. They'll apply for liability order or something. They can't really come. They might go under safety, but I can't think now. And they'll want to get in under fake paperwork and yeah. Right, have I denied right of access? Implied right of access, police borderline, common law jurisdiction applies. And we'll put a contract up as well. I've got another document to come out. I'm so busy. We've got more revisions of documents and new documents that will go on the domain. That will be like a unilateral contract for the private man. So when they ignore all this public business and the trust setting up, you give them a bit of paper, like when they come, it's a notice, and when they touch it, they've been served. In there, it's a 1.5 million contract because they've ignored everything else. Got the verbiage and that to finalise, but where we put these notices up, like Simon Spaniard, he's another good lad. Simon Spaniard's website, go on there and go look at the video. White Rabbit, Simon Spaniard. Look at that. That's all I'll give you, Mandy. It's too late, no time. Take care, brother. Work calls. Mark Duck. It's a pleasure to hear you speak. Thank you. Can't wait for your next class. I'll save this later. Champion. Peace and love to all. Take care. Thanks again, brother. Thank you, brother. That's epic. Thank you. Marvellous. Other side of the world is interacting with little old me. Thank you. When you thank me, you thank yourself. Civil law disputes with private parties, KB. I don't know what the title is of this video. That's not important. 7NX. Hang on a minute, shadow. Shilling. Mark Pazio, Natural Law. That's, oh yes, that's a good one. I've seen some of that. I've read some of that. And the hippie apathy and the bullshit like Mark Pazio makes me laugh. Each to their own, yeah. Human, colour of man goes with colour of law. Well, man, yes, type of man. Human, I've said that myself, yes. Hugh on the screen, I did notice that phonetic similarity. Notice taken on Mark Christopher. Thanks for the warning. Yeah, well, this is what I mean. It's just a warning. That's all it is. Always check stuff out, find out. Don't just use Google. Use DuckDuckGo. Go onto many domains and stuff. Jesus Jones, he found us and made it. Hello, how are we? Long time. Thanks for joining the domain. You were one of the first ones to join up, I think, and try it out and help us beta test it. We're still doing that now. We haven't gone live yet. The trust hasn't been declared. It's in the process of. So we've said the good news. Yeah, as of the 1st of January, David is free. I'll be working for the trust, going around driving, doing promotions. Wow, yeah, you've got to provide it. Big man's going to, well, big consciousness is going to make it happen. Well said, Blue. I think he's bang on. Don't agree. Mark Pazio's law is no. I don't agree, Mandy. Mark Pazio's natural law is no BS. Well said. Yeah, he's bang on. Mark says folks should quit the and hippie apathy, and because of that makes me laugh. It's more than a full-time slave job, Dave. It is. It's a spiritual thing. It's a consciousness thing. I can't tell you enough. Look at ether. Search the word. No, search the topic ether. I think it was a Chiron last one that I watched. Yeah, watch that one. So first watch the 1 hour video, Chiron Last, Ether. Then look at the Golden Web, part 1, 2 and 3, Chiron Last. I urge you to download all of the videos you find of him because they will be getting removed. What else did I say? Think and Grow Yourself Rich, Napoleon Hill and Alan Watts stuff. They'll do you, amongst Nikola Tesla. Always look at him. Jack Fresco, RIP, another soul gone. He needs remembering. His work needs to carry on. Resource-based economy. No geopolitical wars. Have a good night. 7NX. Chill. Okay, Mandy. I just called you. You have a missed call. What? What? Let me see. It's always on. I've got the door closed because it's late and the gills are up. I do have a missed call, yes. Yep. Aha, 2352. Who was that? David, I just called you. But I'm on the video, so I won't answer it, but I won't show your call to everybody, but you did call it, yeah. We'll do that tomorrow because I'm building a website after this, but let's just go through these comments. Where did I allegedly mention natural law is BS? I was talking about his turn of phrase. It says how it is. I like Mark and Freeman fly. There's a few. So I guess your big news I didn't read your mind either. Yeah, either. Us guys are a little bit. We do struggle with the spelling and the social side. When you find folk like us or that are kindred spirits that know there's something wrong, that question authority. You know, we have dispositions, and we might be using a handset, a cell phone. That's got a QWERTY up keyboard that's that big. It's no wonder we make typing errors, but yeah, no biggie. Talk about the Bills of Exchange Act 1882 and how we can endorse ourselves. Well, the 1882 Bills of Exchange is something which governs promissory notes, doesn't it? And promissory notes are what? They are in the private. So it also governs other such things, not just promissory note, bills, acts, money, finances, general commerce, accepted, discharged, transferred, all these kind of things. So that's for you to look at, and yeah, we can talk about that. We've got that on the pro.com. So your 1882, you would argue that you would be able to accept for value. It's not just private, actually, it's public and private, but the bill, a promissory note is in there, and that would be used in the private, but the bill, the act, sorry, the Bills of Exchange Act 1882, yeah, the act, yeah, you're right, Bills of, yeah, because it's got bill and act in it. In my mind had a little moment then, shadow dynamics. But you would use that, accepting for value and offsetting using your exemption number, which is your national insurance, and a few little signatures, stamps and tricks on that, accepted for value, A for E. And also you would use negotiable instruments on the private side in the form of promissory notes, offset and discharging, charge. Yes, electricity. Respect to you, David, for talking and reading our comments. Yeah, man, that's what we do. A letter came saying forced entry to fit a smart meter in my gas meter is outside. But they've still got to notice you. It doesn't matter it's outside, because even though it's outside, if they just turned up and started doing that and you didn't get noticed, Pete FM, Pete TM, Pete trademark, then that's not right, is it? Trying to eat cold pizza, family. I'll do anything for you, but I won't do that. Giving up my job for the cause. What a woman I am with. The woman believes in me. She said, yes, you can do it, David. She's given me a certain amount of time. And I've got to deliver. The Lord will deliver. David will deliver. You will deliver. Thank you, Barker. Albert, how do we sign up to the monthly member side? On donations. On the donations, Albert, you've got the make it a monthly option. And you would set it to pay £1 a month through the donations, or when we get the trust, and when I do the declaration of trust, and I publish the public bank account, because it's remaining private at the minute until it's declared. Declaration, proclamation, and all that. Then it's going to be used for transfers, and you will pay. Oh my God, you scared me!
Somebody knocking.
There's somebody knocking. Don't tell me Matthew's come from Sheffield. Wait. Might be Matthew from Sheffield to get the box. This is Matthew from Sheffield to get the box. Come in, I'm doing a video. Alright, yeah, I'm just so busy. Just come in here, be quiet, I'll wrap it up, don't worry. Oh, I've got a visitor. Sheffield brother, unexpected. Bear with me, guys. She just scared me. I know, I watched that back and see my... I was in the zone. Right, where were we? Monthly, Albert, sorted. David, yeah, we will chat tomorrow, my brother. How would you get a mortgage using a promissory note? Would it be possible? I just explained about the loan and stuff, so too late for now. And the visitors arrived. You've been well and truly updated. 26 viewers, 17 likes. That's really good. Nothing but love for you guys. One thing, tried to get a t-shirt and there was an option for colour. Sort it. There was an option for colour. Sort it. Just bear with, we're getting it sorted. Just, yeah, I've got the shirts here. You send me a message to this 07931 775 967 Jonesy, and yeah, I'll tell you, we'll chat, I'll ring you or something. You mean no option for colour? Yeah, I just paid £1 a month. It went through PayPal. That's right, for the time being, until the bank account has been expressed into the private express trust. Once it's been expressed, then I will publish that and we'll use that. PayPal won't take any money. I don't know if you're saying it's from PayPal you're surprised, or it's from PayPal you want to complain, or it's from PayPal that it went through and it's great. Either way, thank you for that. I will say peace and love. All of the payments that I get through will then enable the trustees to then remunerate me for my time. Andy Sovereign Smith, when he goes out driving and accompanying me as an agent in the capacity of, for the beneficiaries, namely you. Then after some years, we've got quite a bit of money in there. We might look at getting land, property, and once we've got the land and the property, it goes into the trust. It's permanently protected. We will show you this is the type of thing the National Trust should be doing. Once you've done your claim of rights and things, you might want to be looking at, perhaps we could claim some land in a sovereign capacity. It's just a thought. So Pete, thank you, my brother, bless you. Australia, thank you for watching. Blu-ray, so we'll have to stop PayPal then and do a standing order to trust bank account. Yeah, standing orders or just transfers in general. You get 100% of the money then for yourselves to be spent back on you. I'll look at the tax registration option afterwards. No option for colour of t-shirt. Was pissed, man. Bear with us, it's not built yet, it's not properly functioning, so I'll have a word with the technical. I'll look at it tomorrow at some point. Standalone, I'm going to call you once I've dealt with the man from Sheffield. It's actually there, there's somebody there waiting for me. Look, I'm not lying, it's my life. I haven't even eaten my dinner, it's there waiting to eat. Bear with me. Soon, 1st of April, Woosah. I'm a trust employee, worker. I'm working for the trust. So good night, thank you, peace and love. Ciao for now. I love you all lots.